Water managers. My name is Kat Feingold, part of the Water Management Systems Division at the Hydrologic Engineering Center, and I'm going to be covering real-time data in SWMS in this short series of presentations. The objective at the end of this video is for you to be able to identify the types of real-time data and the multitude of ways they can be managed within SWMS. This has been a four-part series, with the first video covering the two categories of real-time data, time series and grids, the second video covering the multitude of sources in which you can gain that data, the third video discussing the various ways of processing that data in SWMS, and that brings us finally to the storage systems inside SWMS and the acquisition of that data inside SWMS, which will be covered in this final video. As discussed, there are two types, as a reminder, of data, two categories, time series and gridded. But we're talking about the storage systems. So the data in SWMS is stored in two separate forms, the first being the Oracle database and the second being DSS files. So the SWMS Oracle database runs on a SWMS server either locally at your district or elsewhere in the cloud paradigm. It is an Oracle relational database system, and it supports enterprise-scale data operations, and it does require authentication login. In contrast, DSS files are stored in several places. They can either be on your SWMS server or on a PC, a file server system such as your local PC or your NetApp or any other system where you may store files. The DSS files are optimized for data sequences like time series, and they do not, I repeat, not require a login for local DSS file operations. So for the purposes of this SWMS prospect course and the SWMS workshops, any data that isn't downloaded directly from an outside source through your extract, for example, such as Cumulus, will be housed under the SWMS class folder. The data storage systems in SWMS kind of break out this way. So the files and directories for the SWMS database, they will hold the DSS files for time series in local mode. For those of you who are not core and you are working with an RTS version of this, this is what it'll look like. It also is what it looks like for our workshops. So in the core production systems, this is replaced by an Oracle database. There is no database directory on your SWMS server. So your data directory contents change as the data collection and transformation processes run inside the DSS files for grids that are stored. So if you are looking for your time series grids not inside an Oracle database, you are going to find them mostly on your database folder. Any of your gridded data you are going to find under the dated DB grid area. So this kind of brings us to data acquisition. So there are many places. Data comes from both public and proprietary sources. It's acquired continuously through automated processes, and it's transmitted over internet dedicated lines, line-of-sight radio, satellites, and more. Time series data, again, is stored in the SWMS Oracle database on SWMS servers, wherever they may reside, and grids come from the National Weather Service or other areas and are ingested directly by Cumulus, which is where we pull them from. So your state and federal agency, all of those, all kind of wraps in to your database, your Oracle database or Cumulus. So how do you get them from your Oracle database and Cumulus into the CAVI? I'm so glad you asked. How does data acquisition inside the CAVI actually look? So in order to get data into the CAVI itself in SWMS, you are looking at CAVI data extracts. So there is an extract process that you will run through and extract groups. And for the CAVI data that is going to pull from the Oracle database or from Cumulus, you are going to need CAC authentication in order to access either of those. This is an example of what your extract list might look like. So you can see here, you have your data store at the top. It is Oracle. You have your extract start, your end of simulation, and then you would have all of the data that you would be pulling from your Oracle database. Directly below that, so this is what it looks like inside Cumulus extract. You would have your type, which is gridded data, and then you would have your URL, followed by your office, the watershed you're working in, and then the products that you are going to pull in your extract. Now, for those of you who are on RTS or are pulling data from DSS files, as a reminder, there is no authentication required for that. So you can build them as you see fit. Here is both time series and data and gridded data. And you see, taking a look at that, you have the file store database, DSS file time series. And then for your gridded data store, you have your dated, DB, grid, precip. This one's just an example. It could be temp. But note that they are both DSS files and they are on your local or shared drive. So in summary of our entire presentation set, SWMS data supporting real-time modeling includes both, what did we say, time series and grids from a variety of sources. Time series and gridded data is stored in either the SWMS Oracle database and Cumulus respectively, which requires authentication to access, or you can have time series data and gridded data stored in HEC-DSS files that does not require authentication to access. That is a very important piece to remember. So this was the final video in our real-time SWMS presentations. If you have questions about our software and need some help or are looking for additional training, please check out these links here. They can also be found in the description below, and we hope you will continue to view our SWMS Prospect course classes. Thank you very much for your time.